welcome back to this week's video. On last week, I shared with you some of my favorite biblical scriptures that I use to help maximize sleep. And this week, I want to further that conversation about sleep and more so of the symptoms or signs when I know that I have sleep deprivation. And just the number one thing for me that I monitor very closely to really understand when my body is telling me enough is enough. This is a very important topic to me because I know for sure this is one of the restraints that God placed on my life that really saved my life. Now, everybody knows that they need sleep, but I truly believe if you watch the previous video, and I will link in the cards above, that one word changed everything for me. And I truly believe, as I sit here and record this video today, that is one thing that saved my life. I really don't believe that I would be here because my body was just deteriorating at such a aggressive rate, and I just didn't know what it was that was happening to me. And it really makes me realize how sensitive and how fragile our life is and these bodies are, and that we take them through such a grueling process. And that's great because we know how resilient our bodies are, and we just know how complex and how much thought that God put into creating us, that many times we can just overcome anything. But sometimes for some people, you can push a little bit too hard and too fast, and I think that's kind of where I was. But nevertheless, I want to share with you just a few things that for me, I know that I'm really pushing it to the edge in terms of really falling into sleep deprivation. And you may say, well, what's the big deal? Why you keep talking about this? Number one, this is a testimony where I truly believe this one word, this 5-letter word, it saved my life. But also too, I see this in so many people that I interact with every day. I see myself in them when they're struggling, they can't think straight, they're gaining weight and all these different things. And I see myself in them. And so maybe this video will reach one person that it can help, and maybe you'll stop for a moment and say, you know what she's sharing about herself, I'm going through the same thing, and maybe if I just prioritize my rest. But again, before I end this video, I'm going to share the very thing that I think really is the catalyst that created all this confusion for me. The first sign or symptom that I want to share with you is brain fog. And if you've never heard of brain fog, just think about if you ever put your head inside of a swimming pool and you actually didn't have any earplugs in, you hear that water kind of joshing through your ears and things of that nature. You just, you can't think straight, but you're always flooded with thoughts, but nothing really kind of catches, right? You're just trying to pull things out of thin air and nothing really flows cohesively for you. You can't put thoughts together. Sometimes it's very difficult for you to concentrate. And I stayed in a consistent state of brain fog every day. And now brain fog can be caused by other things like depletion of different minerals and vitamins and things of that nature. But for me, when I have adequate sleep, I'm sharp. The next day I can move and function very well. My thoughts, my recall is very sharp and very quick. One of the things that I noticed too is my body is very sensitive to caffeine. So if I don't get the adequate sleep that I need, I don't have any stimulant to fall back on as far as caffeine is concerned or something like that. And when you're just in day to day, you need to be able to think clearly and with clarity. And it really makes you, when you're dealing, or maybe you're out in the public and you're interacting with people, you look like you're just dumb because you cannot communicate effectively, right? My conversation was just off. I never answered questions like I should, or I don't know, it definitely didn't put me in the best light. And I'm pretty sure for the people who was watching me suffer through all of that, they realized, man, something has to be wrong with this woman, or she's just not that bright. And you definitely don't want to show up in that way, or to make people think that you just don't have good common sense, right? So brain fog was number one. The second one was swelling. It would be like someone had injected helium inside of me. It would show up in my face, extremities, my legs would swell, and it never seemed like it would go away. Adequate sleep, I don't have swelling, I don't have the puffiness. And it's very strange when you see that, you see yourself look that way, and you don't know why. And you may say, well, I ate something that had a lot of sodium in it, or you make all types of excuses. And I just didn't understand how my body was impacted because of not having adequate rest. One big thing for me, I have always exercised, and at some extent, whether I had put on weight or not, at some extent I've always exercised. And what I notice is when I don't have adequate sleep, I can't break a sweat. And then I typically stay cold throughout my entire workout. And then with that, I never recover. It's always after I work out, it seems like I'm tired, continuously tired the whole time. But one of the things for me is going into the gym and not being able to break a sweat without much effort. Again, I'm not taking stimulants, but I know certain activities is going to increase my heart rate and I should start perspiring, but I don't. And so if I go to the gym now, and depending on what type of training I'm doing that day, if I do not break a sweat, I know that my body is fatigued. And so that's my telltale sign for me. The other thing is my hunger cues are off the charts. I want to eat everything that's not nailed down. I'm not a grazer typically. I don't feel well if I eat all day long, meaning like every couple of hours. I typically eat twice a day. And there are times when I do more than that. And so essentially what I do is when I eat a lot of volume at one time. And it seems that my digestive system tolerates that very well. It seems that I recover from eating, even though I'm very full because I'm eating a lot of volume at one time and eating only twice a day. Very close in the same time frame. It's not like I eat at 12 and then I wait to 6 o'clock. I'm eating fairly close to each other. But for me, the rationale is that I just attack my digestive system at one time, and it just spends that time breaking down that food versus eating all day long. I feel like I lose energy and I'm depleted if I eat all day long. If I try to space meals out, I'm just not comfortable with that. And you seeing that you're eating all this crazy stuff and you're craving different things, you need to ask yourself why. Sleep could be the issue. The other thing, or the biggest thing that I had to recognize, is that unresolved stress or chronic stress can create a lot of problems with your sleep. And the biggest thing that I did for myself is let go of the things that no longer served me. And this is a scary thing for a lot of people, because for most of us, if we're honest and we sit down and look at our lives, there's a lot of things we need to let go. A lot of us have so much fluff in our life, and that can include people. And so I really had to sit down and make myself a priority. I had to sit down and be honest with myself and say who or what needs to be in my life in order for me to heal and for me to get better. And I really shrunk that list down considerably. And I truly put a fortress around myself. I have boundaries. Listen, here's the thing. We cannot stop stress. If I get up and walk to the other room, I'm creating stress on my body in some kind. You work out, that's stress on your body. Everybody has some form of stress. It's that chronic, unresolved stress that really sends people to their grave a lot early. And I found myself taking on other people's problems, or not letting go of things that no longer serve me. And it didn't allow me to be my best self. And I know in my heart, for those people or those things or circumstances that I allowed to implode my life, if something would happen to me, those people was not going to be there to protect me. They're not going to be there to provide for me. They're not going to be there to take care of me. And so I had to be honest with myself and say, really, what is the value in this? I know there's value in people, but it may not be a value in that person being in your life. And this is, as adults, we have to understand sometimes you outgrow people. Sometimes you outgrow certain situations and circumstances, and it just doesn't serve you anymore. And I say this to women, Gen X women, just really sit down and look at your life. Sit down and do an inventory on the people in your life. And it will require you to make some hard decisions. It could be some of the people who are the very closest to you that's causing you the most pain and distress for your health. And I look at it like this. If somebody really loves you and care for you, they're not going to cause you all type of chaos and pain. They're just not going to do it because they really want the best for you. But there many times people are selfish. And people get off on you being hurt and you being in pain. And sometimes when you step back and you remove everybody, you will really see the people who really love and care for you. So I just hope that this video encourage you to prioritize sleep, clean out what needs to be cleaned out in your life, and start with you. Be honest with yourself. Look at what you're not doing and look at what you're accepting. But the biggest thing is try to figure out why. Why would you let people be in your life that's really causing you stress and not remove them? Why would you not feel like it's necessary for you to go get rest and have adequate sleep? Why do you think you have to be the one that everybody calls when there's a problem? And why is it that when you need something, nobody else is there? Those questions should bring you pause, and it's really food for thought. If you can answer those questions, you'll probably resolve any unhealthy relationship that you personally have with sleeping or not sleeping. I just feel so adamant about this. I know what changing this one thing did for me. I know what this did for my life. I know how it improved my health. It improved my mental health, my emotional health. It improved my physical health, and it improved my spiritual health, okay? Because there are going to be times that things are going in your life that nobody else is going to be around, and it's going to be you and God. And in those moments, how rough they may be, God will show you what you need to do. So I just want to encourage you to honor yourself, take care of yourself, and make yourself a priority. That's a big thing that a message that I want to share with other women. Make yourself a priority. I hope that this video blesses you. I hope that this encourages you to really start doing some introspective work and looking at yourself and seeing what you can do to improve your life. But I would encourage you, try to get some quality sleep. It will change your life. Share this video with someone that you think will like it. And if you like content like this, stay tuned for the next video. Take care, everybody. Be blessed. Bye-bye.